Alright guys, so welcome to today's video, and in today's video we will continue our work on this Murder Mystery 2 knife. And in today's episode we will mainly focus on, first of all, clearing up everything we have regarding the slash, so getting rid of that animation, so things like that. And then we will hopefully start with the throw system, and then yeah, we will be able to throw our knife, guys. Alright, so clearing up the animation is actually pretty easy. You just need to make sure that you're adding some kind of weight into this whole thing, okay? Before actually disabling the animation means we have to stop the loader and then getting rid of the animation. So you may ask, okay, why are we destroying the animation? So why couldn't we leave it there? Well, we actually could, but just for an overall better performance, we want to destroy the animation, guys. Okay? Although the performance difference is not, or maybe not, that high. But well, we're just going to destroy it. Yeah, so you may ask, why are we adding this weight into it? So why couldn't we just leave this thing out? The thing is that if we leave this out, then the animation would play, it would create the ray, and then it would immediately stop the animation. And since creating a ray is not taking up too long, the animation wouldn't even play. Okay, so it would play and would instantly be stopped. Means there wouldn't be a visible change for our eyes, you know, so we wouldn't actually see the animation playing for our eyes, although it has been played if you take a look at the code, okay? Therefore, we have to add a weight to it. Okay, now let's start with the throw. So this one is actually pretty interesting because we are going to have a hold system at this point. So we are going to hold the right mouse button, and when you hold it, then we are going to load, okay? We're going to load something, probably, yeah, we will probably increase the damage regarding on how long you have hold the right mouse button. And then if you release the right mouse button, then we are going to play this whole thing regarding the throwing, you know? So, else if input, user input type, so you guys should be familiar with this line. And user input, and now instead of mouse button 1, we will have mouse button 2, so our right mouse button. And this is actually input began, means it only recognizes when input has begun. And when we talk about holding, we want to notice when two things happen. So the first thing is that you actually started pressing on a button, okay? And this is of course done by this input began event. The second event, which we want to take care of or notice, is when you have let go of a button, okay? And this is actually the so-called input ended event. So UIS input not began but ended, connect function, and then just the same thing as above, so input GPE, and if not GPE then. And now we can check whether the input, which has ended, is our right mouse button. And if that's the case, then we know that the right mouse button at this point was held and then was let go of, okay? And the time span in between the beginning and the ending is actually our holding time. And with that holding time, we can actually tell how much damage is going to be dealt, because if we so I've just already told you that I want to increase the damage regarding the hold time, okay? So if you're holding the knife long enough, then you will actually deal more damage, okay? So that was my idea at the beginning. Okay, so with that being said, let's fire server something, and let's call this one throw began, and let's call this one throw ended. Okay, so we're going to have two different values. So throw began, okay? And when the throw has begun, we just want to play an animation, okay? And wait, so instead of having all of these, we can actually add a animation on the inside of here. So throw began, and we now have to edit this dummy. So load, and we're going to load this throwing hold animation whatsoever. So let's publish this one. Wait. The priority is hopefully set to movement. Alright, it is. So publish to Roblox. Throwing hold. Okay, there we go. Now. Okay, now we are actually holding this thing. Or at least we have a holding animation at this point. And yeah, so we somehow need to detect the holding time, and you can actually do that. So there are, of course, many ways to do this. We could add a variable called hold, and we can check whether hold is first of all false at the beginning, because if that's the case, then we want to make this thing true. And while hold is true, we want to count the, well, holding time, okay? Well, it is not actually a time, it is... Well, I don't know how to define it, but it actually gives information on how long you have held something, okay? But it is not time, it is something else. But I hope that you guys understand the concept of this variable, okay? So, holding equals holding plus 1 means this holding right here is increased as long as hold is true. And hold is true as long as we haven't let go of it, okay? So we are now going to script this thing because that's the second part. So now this whole thing is complete. So we have, when we start pressing the right mouse button, we have this hold value right here, okay? And this is of course false at the beginning, so that's even a requirement. And we are making this hold value true, and we have this loop right here which increases this holding value, okay? And as I've said, this gives us information about how long the key has been held, okay? And why is that important to us? Because as I've already told you, I want to increase the damage depending on how great your holding value is. Now, this thing would of course infinitely go on if hold would stay true the whole time. Therefore, we have this input ended, which detects when you have let go of the right mouse button, okay? And it is a requirement for hold to be true in order to come to this point. And hold double equals true means that you have begun an input on the right mouse button, okay? So, if all of these requirements are met, we are fire serving. Throw ended, so that's topic for the next episode probably, and we are making this hold value false, which automatically stops this loop. Okay. One more thing. We should consider this before the fire server, because for this fire server, it is necessary to know what holding is, because we want to, you know, influence our damage regarding or depending on this holding value, and we somehow need to tell the server script what holding is, okay? So there is no purpose in, you know, giving or passing the holding value while hold is still true. Therefore, we have to end this loop before passing the final result onto here. And after the result has been passed, we want to revert this variable, okay? So that we can do this whole thing for another time. Okay, so throw has begun, then it has begun. Now, else if val throw ended, then. Now, this part right here is actually interesting because we will need one more argument, and this argument right here, it is, or it has to do with the player's mouse. So when we speak of throwing a knife, then we want the knife to be thrown into a certain direction, okay? And I have thought about throwing the knife in the direction of your mouse. And in order to do so, we have to make use of this. So we are basically referring to the player's local player. No, we are referring to our player, okay? I'm sorry, we are referring to our player, and we are getting the mouse. And by getting the mouse, we can also get everything regarding the mouse. So the mouse position whatsoever. And this hit right here is basically our mouse's current position, or at least, well, how could you call it? So when your mouse is on a certain object, then position, as far as I know, is called hit. And P actually converts this into a vector, as far as I know. And we can now make use of this. And wait, where is it? Yeah. Let's copy this handle. No, never mind. Let's not copy it, but let's do something else. Wait. We should play another animation, which is going to be our throwing, our actually throwing. So load throwing actually and publish. Okay, so let's submit this one, copy the ID, and let's head into the script. Okay. Now. So we are now actually throwing the knife, but we have to make, or we have to set this animation right here, or we have to stop it, okay? And in order to do so, we have to refer to our character and then to our humanoid and then get all playing animation tracks. Okay. And then if v.name equals row begin, then v stop. And yeah. Okay. Now we are stopping the animation. We could, of course, delete it as well. We should probably, but let me just focus on playing this throwing animation first of all. Wait, let me just test out this whole thing because, well, why not? Get all playing animation tracks is not a valid member of. Oh yeah, because it is a member of the animator. Oh, wait. There is a huge problem with the local script. So this local script, or these things right here, they work without the tool being equipped. That's a problem. So we have to script something else. So we need this variable right here called equipped, which is false at the beginning. And once this tool has been equipped, we can enable this variable. And otherwise, so script parent refers to the tool, equipped is the equipped event. I hope that this is clear. And we of course have to do this opposite thing. So script parent not equipped, but unequipped. So if this whole thing is unequipped, then equipped has to be false. And we need to add a check whether this whole thing is equipped, otherwise this should not work, okay? So I'm just adding it to here. Okay. Okay, as you can see, it is not working now. I have to equip this whole thing to make it work. As you can see, get all playing. Oh, okay. Yeah, so this does not exist. So it is not get all playing animation tracks, but it is get playing animation tracks, as far as I can remember. If it still does not work, then I have to look it up. Okay, it does work. Okay, so it does work. We now need to script the actual throw, okay? So everything with that positioning, etc., guys. Okay, so first of all, we need a knife model in order to throw it, okay? And I'm just gonna take this knife model right here. So x equals script parent handle clone, and we are now parenting this into our character. Okay, and let's actually anchor it as well. Anchor true. And we now need to play around with the C-frame a little, and this might be a little complicated, but we'll see. So C-frame.new. Yeah. Actually, this has to consist of much more parts. So character, humanoid root part, C frame multiplied with another C frame so that our knife is not actually inside of us, but in front of us, maybe. Let's start with this. Okay. P. So we're turning this whole thing into a vector, and we need another argument right here, so val2, and yeah. Wait, what is wrong with this? Okay, so there is a bracket missing. That was the issue. Okay, let me see how this is going to look like. So the thing is that vector 3 expected get number inval second argument. Wait, why? So it could be that this method is somehow outdated. Well, I'm not sure, because it used to work, so I have tried to use this method on my old One Piece game, and it did work, okay? So I don't know why this is happening, but this is actually good, because I can now end the video at this point, and we can move on with this whole series in the next episode, okay? And we'll probably only need one more episode in order to finish this whole thing. And yeah, so guys, thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, share this with all of your friends. Leave me feedback in the comment section, guys. Take care and see you in the next video.